What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who classic review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 4th Doctor Tom Baker story, The Keeper of Traken. Now this is from season 18, which is Tom Baker's final season as the 4th Doctor. It's regarded, I think definitely, as Tom Baker's worst season, and probably one of the worst seasons in all of classic Who. However, from what I've heard, The Keeper of Traken is regarded as one of the better episodes in the season. I've only seen this and Legopolis a long time ago. I'm going to be rewatching Legopolis for a review in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, this seems to be regarded as one of the better episodes in the season. Like I said there, I don't really have much to compare it to. So yeah, let's have a look at the back of the DVD. This is The Keeper of Traken by Johnny Byrne. Traken, a planet ruled by the all-powerful Keeper who rules for 1,000 years and ensures that his subjects live a life of tranquility and harmony, free from the forces of evil and corruption. But the Keeper is dying. Summoned by the ailing Keeper, the Doctor and Adric discover that all is not well on Traken. An evil presence threatens the future of the planet, an evil that knows all about the Doctor. So we've got quite an interesting little plot, kind of introductory plot synopsis thing on the back of the DVD there. And yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. So like I said, this is the second to last episode in season 18. I can't remember how many episodes there are in season 18. 7 maybe? There might be 7 or 6, I don't know, but I think it's 7, so this would be like episode 6. Yeah, The Keeper of Traken, it's not too bad actually. It's pretty decent. I don't regard it as a classic, however it is pretty decent. First of all, let's have a look at the cast. So we have Tom Baker as the 4th Doctor. Now Tom Baker's pretty good in this. If you don't know, when JNT, John Nathan Turner, took over the show in season 18 in, I believe, 1981, this was what, yeah, 1981, Tom Baker didn't like the changes, and it's the main reason why he left. And you know, because JNT took away a lot of the kind of humor and stuff, and he really changed the 4th Doctor's character to be more serious, and it didn't really work. It wasn't the Tom Baker 4th Doctor that we all knew. And that is the case with this episode. It's not the same Tom Baker from seasons, 12 to 17. However, he is a little bit better in this from what I've heard. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything else other than Legopolis, but from what I remember, he's definitely better in this than he is in that. He has a few little smiley moments, a few funny moments, but you can tell that Tom Baker doesn't really give a shit anymore. So Tom Baker's performance is pretty good, but it's definitely no, season 12 to 17 sort of level of good. It's just kind of, yeah, it's pretty good. It's Tom Baker. Next we have Matthew Waterhouse as Adric. So Adric's considered as one of the worst, if not the worst, classic Who companion. And although I haven't seen a lot of him, he isn't the best companion. He's actually not too bad in this. From what I've heard, he's pretty bad in some other stories. I've seen him mostly in the Peter Davison era, and yeah, he can be pretty bad in that at times. This is all that I've really seen him in for Tom Baker, but he's actually not too bad in this. You get a couple of little good moments, and altogether his acting, because one thing, Matthew Waterhouse isn't a very good actor. That's the main issue with him, I think. But his acting in this isn't too bad. It's not too bad in this, and he actually gets some decent moments. We then have Anthony Ainley as Tremus. Yeah, he's pretty good. If you don't know, spoilers by the way, Anthony Ainley ends up taking over at the end of the story. He becomes the Master, and kind of takes over Tremus's body. And yeah, I think he does a good job as the Master when he finally does appear, and as Tremus. We then have Sarah Sutton as Nyssa, who will come on in Legopolis to be a new companion. She's pretty good in this story. Once again, Nyssa is one of those companions that people don't really like. She was very underused in the show. However, at this current point, yeah, she's alright. She's not too whiny, like she does slightly become. But yeah, she's okay. We have Dennis Carey as the Keeper. He's pretty good. We don't get to see him that much though. We have Sheila Ruskin as Cassia. She's pretty good as well. And Jeffrey Beavers plays Melka, which is the villain of the story, which ends up being the Master. So yeah, let's first of all talk about some good points for the Keeper of Traken. So firstly, Melka using Cassia. Basically, Melka is the villain of the story. It's kind of the statue looking thing that you can see on the front cover in the middle there. That is the villain of the story. And most of the time it's kind of just stood still as a statue. And it basically uses this character Cassia to I don't know, it like puts this necklace thing on her, and means that she can Melka, he can see around the place by using her to see. I think that's pretty cool, and to know what's going on around, that's pretty nice. He also ends up wanting Cassia to become the next Keeper. The whole premise of the story is that the current Keeper of Traken is dying, and Tremus is supposed to be the next Keeper. However, Melka, who ends up being the Master, wants to be the new Keeper. However, he's using Cassia to get there, but Cassia thinks that she's going to be the Keeper, but then when she ends up going to sit in the chair to become the next Keeper, Melka like teleports or something, and takes her place. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a very, very nice little thing. You know, it means that kind of necklace thing is for, it's so that Melka can look around as Cassia, but it also, I believe, means that when she does go onto the throne, he can kind of teleport to her and basically take her place and become the new Keeper. So I think that's pretty cool. This story also introduces Nissa, like I said earlier. I think it introduces her pretty well. She doesn't get too much to do in this story, and I don't even know if she was really supposed to be a companion in this story, because at the end of the story she isn't even with the TARDIS team. I believe she just joins in the next episode, but I think it does a pretty good job of introducing Nissa. We also have, like I've said, the reveal that Melka was the Master. I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. We could kind of see pretty early on that, you know, this statue was basically a robot, and there was somebody controlling it inside. And you could just see this hand kind of pressing buttons and stuff. Then it's revealed that it's the Master. He's in his decaying form. We haven't seen him since the Deadly Assassin. However, I think Jeffrey Beavers does a much better job as the Master. I think mostly not because of the performance, but mostly because the costume's just a hell of a lot better. We don't have those stupid bug eyes, and it just looks a hell of a lot better than it did in The Deadly Assassin. The Master getting into his new body was pretty cool, you know, where Tremus like touches the clock, which ends up being the Doctor's TARDIS, not the Doctor's TARDIS, the Master's TARDIS, and the Master comes out and kind of merges with Tremus and becomes Anthony Ainley as the Master. I think that was pretty cool. And Adric was actually okay and had some decent moments. Like I said earlier, Adric, usually pretty crap, wasn't amazing in this story, but he was definitely better than he had been, than he has been in other stories. So pretty good thumbs up for there. Now we have some bad moments. Part 1 is a little bit boring until the cliffhanger, I find. I found myself getting a little bit bored, but the cliffhanger was pretty cool when Melka ends up coming out and kind of shooting people with his laser eyes. I thought that was pretty cool. However, it's the only time we really see Melka moving, which is a bit annoying, but I thought that part 1 cliffhanger was good, and from then onwards it was good, but part 1 was rather boring. This is a 4-part story, by the way, which I think is a fine length for it. Any longer, you're not going to have a good story, but 4 parts is pretty decent. Cassia's red eyes look very fake. When Cassia basically gets possessed by Melka, her eyes go red, but you can clearly see that it's like just paper that they've stuck over her eyelids to make like red eyes, and oh god, it looks really fake. Once again, this is the early 1980s in this case, so I can't really say too much, but yeah, it does look pretty fake. You can tell Tom Baker is losing interest in the show. Like I said earlier, he just isn't really enjoying it as much. He is enjoying it a bit more than I think he had been previously, and than he does in Legopolis. However, you can still tell that he's not really on full form for the entirety of this story. The Melka statue being the Master's TARDIS is interesting, but a bit silly, and I don't see how it works. Yeah, once again, that is a bit weird. I don't know how the Melka statue is the TARDIS, or is a TARDIS. I find it very unusual. Like when you just hear the TARDIS kind of sound, you know, dematerialization sound, a materialization sound, and the statue just appears, and it's just like this stationary statue. I'm just like, what? That's just weird. How does he even get in and out of it? Like, where's the door? Does he have a door on his arse? Like, what? How? I'm very confused. So that was a bit weird. Also, I did say that I liked the Master getting into his new body. I like the concept, however, and to be honest, for the time, the fade, I think it worked alright for the time. You wouldn't get away with that nowadays, but I think for the time, that kind of fade that they used to merge the two bodies together, I think that worked pretty well for the time. But I don't understand, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but have we ever been told how the Master can do this? How can the Master, you know, merge into another body? I mean, I know that, you know, his Jeffrey Beavers version where he's all, you know, decaying, the decaying Master, I know that's the like the end of his regeneration cycle. He doesn't have any more regenerations left, so when he's merging with another body, he's not actually regenerating, he's just kind of changing his look with the same regeneration. But how does he do that? This isn't something that I don't think, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, this is something that I don't hear about. Is it something that only the Master can do? Is it something that all Time Lords can do? Can the Doctor do this? You know, I don't understand how this happens. But yeah, like I said, if there has been an explanation for this, please tell me. But otherwise, it doesn't really make much sense to me. So yeah, that was the Keeper of Traken. I thought this was a pretty decent episode. Like I said, it was a bit slow at the start, but I think after that part 1 cliffhanger, it does get up a little bit. There are a couple of things like the Master's TARDIS and kind of the fading thing and the red eyes and stuff that do kind of lose my interest a bit and go, oh, okay, that's not great. But on a whole, I think this is a pretty decent episode. I'm going to give the Keeper of Traken a 7.5 out of 10. I was thinking about giving it an 8, but I was like, you know, it's just not the most interesting, and those things that do annoy me, do quite annoy me a bit. So I don't think I can really give this more than a 7.5 at the moment. I don't know how this is going to compare to the rest of Season 18. You know, like I've said before, because I'm kind of reviewing these in random orders, my ratings could change dramatically after I've seen full seasons, definitely after I've seen the full classic era. But as for now, I'm giving the Keeper of Traken a 7.5 out of 10. But anyway, that's going to be it for this next video, guys. My next review next week, I'm probably going to be changing my reviews to a Monday, because the way that I have my ranking videos every 2 weeks on a Friday, I've been doing them every 2 weeks Friday, I've been doing these every week on a Tuesday. I'm going to be moving these to a Monday because it gives me a little bit more time to do the ranking videos. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.